Okay, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It is 6:30. We do not have any citizens, so we will skip on to the agenda items. C1, consider approval of minutes for September 18th, 2025 meeting and take appropriate action.
So I've got just a couple of just minor edits we need to make. If we go to page 2, C4, the first bullet, Jessica is working with marketing manager Rachel. Rachel is going to be spelled either R-A-C-H-A-E-L or R-A-C-H-E-L, but it's not going to be E-A-L, so just need to make that correct, the spelling of her name. You can take either one, A-E-L or A-L.
C4,
C4, bullet number 1.
Yeah. got it.
Okay, and that also drop down to second bullet, pickleball informal open house. What it should say is pickleball informal open house, September 25th. And then you could say, comma, event will take place from October 21 to November 9th.
What? Said what?
So pickleball informal open house, that occurred on September 25th. Then you could say pickleball informal house, Poland, September 25th. Then you can put comma, event will take place October 21 through November 9th. Okay, is that clear?
Got it. Yeah.
And then this is just a question I have. Everybody else knows what this means except me, but I just am trying to understand it. What does ICB stand for? That's the third bullet. What does ICB stand for?
Where you see that? Where?
Third bullet, underneath pickleball, ICB partnerships are progressing well with special events. I just don't know what ICB stands for.
Intercontinental bombs.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. I just don't know what that means. I don't either.
I feel like it's got something to do with like Christmas and the branch. Christmas and maybe it should be.
So if we could just find out.
Let us
what that
check on
is.
that.
Yeah,
Check on
and then whatever it is, then just make that correction.
that. Okay.
That's all I've got.
Our CFB ISD partnerships, we'll look.
Could be Brookhaven. Brookhaven.
I feel like this is the FBISD from what the conversation was.
Oh, CFBISD.
We'll double check. Okay.
Okay,
Okay, any other corrections or
thank you.
changes? Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Okay,
Actually, wait, sorry. C6 last bullet seems wrong. I don't think the HVAC update is occurring until January 19th. It's currently open right now.
Oh, yeah, that already happened.
Yeah, I think it's already happened.
That already happened. That happened in
That was
October.
I think it's two bullets merged together.
Okay,
There's two
so-
things happening at the aquatic center.
yeah,
Okay.
so it was the,
Actually, it happened this week.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tuesday was the HVAC.
Yes.
And then the upgrade starts,
In December.
Isn't
Yeah.
replastering?
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
December or something.
Through
December
January.
dates. So we need that corrected.
Yeah.
2 bullets? Yeah, That's one. yes.
Anything else? Anybody else notice? Okay. Can we go at it again? Do I have a motion to accept with the additional change, the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that passed.
I'm sorry, who was the second?
I was Linda.
Thank you.
Okay, going on down, C2, receive the Recreation Division update. Who's gonna
Yes.
do that? Okay,
So our recreation center basketball gym will be closed from Tuesday, October 28th through Friday, October 31st to complete our annual court inspection. So they will bring the big heavy lift in and inspect our volleyball net, all of the different basketball nets, hoops, how everything comes down. And so we asked to see if we could split that up. So during their lunch breaks or when they're not there in the evenings, if we could open it up, but due to them, the mechanicals of them actually having to inspect all the different pieces, they're not able to do that. So it will be a complete closure during that time. If they're able to complete the entire job in a shorter period of time, then we will reopen it at that point, but it'll be a full open and it won't be half and half.
Got a lot of good notices about it already.
Yes, we want to make sure that the word is out, just because now that, we only have one court, we want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. Our volleyball players, have you guys gotten any communications on that?
Yes, we're
Okay.
aware of it, and I have been trying to pass the word and
Okay, great. Our aquatic center closure, as we were just discussing earlier, so it will be closed, the indoor aquatic facility will be closed beginning Monday, December 8th through Sunday, January 18th for the replastering of the lap poles. The facility will reopen on Monday, January 19th at 6 a.m. We have been working with one of our social media contractors who's going to get a heavy push. She's created about 6 to 7 different types of communication graphics for us. So that will go out through ActiveNet, which is our resource, our registration software. Emails that are sent, it'll be in the branch review that goes in the water bills. It'll be on our digital kiosks that are in all the different city facilities. It'll also be printed in person next to the scanners at the aquatic facility as well. Staying on the move, if you're on social media, you notice that there was a community survey that went out. We have our GIS who works with our IT department. His name is Brian. He's been working the Santa on the Move ever since it started. Maybe, I think he's done it 4 times. That's how many times we've done it. And he asked that we do a survey, just based off of, he's able to see, I think I explained this last time, he's able to see exactly, how many stops, how many people are on the different streets, how many streets they go through that there's actually nobody out looking for Santa. And so he was like, to get a better view of who is actually interested in participating in this from their homes or from a local park, putting out a survey. So they have done that, and the surveys will run until October 10th, which already happened. Oh no, it's Santa on the Move. Sorry, the survey is available from the 10th through the 31st. So it'll go on for a little bit longer. It just started on the 10th. So far we have gotten 6 responses, and one of those responses was somebody from Lovefield. So that won't. Great that they're watching our socials, but yeah. Branch Connection, some upcoming highlights that we have there. They have a craft fair that is happening this weekend. They have their monthly breakfast that is happening on November 3rd, their Veterans Day celebration that is on November 11th, and their holiday lunch, which is free for members and $5 for non-members. Day passes are required, and that's the cost of the day pass, which will occur on November 19th.
okay, and that's October 18th.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Saturday.
thinking about the
It's
craft fair.
Saturday, the craft fair.
And then the last thing I have from our community events team, they have been, we have fall ball underway with athletics, which our community events team works on that. They have, I think, 3 different CFB ISD trunk or treats that they are attending. In addition, they were out this evening for haunted houses out at the historical park as well. And then they are gearing up to hit the ground running starting Monday to get ready for Halloween in the park, which is next Saturday. So they're going to be going to Farmers Branch Elementary, Blair Elementary, and McLaughlin Strickland. Halloween in the park, they have a total of 3 PTAs interested in hosting booths there. There is a conflict with the school district on this night of Halloween in the park. The school district has their really big basketball event that they also have going on. And so one thing we're going to look at doing is we have communications with the district. The school district has like a department that does all of their different events and stuff. So we want to partner with them to iron out the schedule for the next school year so that we're targeting the same community. And so we don't want to have conflicts where people are having to choose. We want them to be able to attend both. Christmas decor has begun. If you've gone to City Hall recently, about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they started doing the trees along William Dodson Parkway. And that is just to get us ready. Compared to previous years, we were probably just like 2 days earlier. They finished a previous assignment in a different city a little bit earlier, so they hit us 2 days prior to. So it's still the same timeline. The lights will remain off while they were installing. You may have noticed that different lights were on. That was because the teams were out there working on that. And so making sure the actual spheres and the different elements that go out throughout the city are not placed out yet, but just the items that they can wrap around trees that they can get a head start on, they have already done that. And that is all that I have.
Hey, does anybody have any questions?
It's not a question. I just want to make a comment. I just thank you. Was it Linda who sent out the email saying about this, the fact that the gym was going to be closed those days? I would thank you for letting us know that. I really appreciate that.
Yes, and then those emails, when I send those out, that's at the direction of staff. You know, I'm tasked to notify the board when there's upcoming things, give you plenty of notice that we're gonna be shutting things down and notifying the public. So that actually is staff.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
out here every morning. Now I can mark my calendar and say, okay, don't come those
Yeah.
days. Thank you.
Jessica, did y'all have a chance to look into, for those who have aquatics and rec center memberships, how y'all are gonna handle that for the closure?
Yes, I got with the team and they were meeting on it. They did meet on it. They sent me a follow-up. I think that was the only thing that they had not, they were able to get me their follow-up as far as for the instructors and the different things that I talked to you guys about, but they did not give me the follow-up on your questions. So we will get that email to you, so you don't have to wait for another meeting.
Okay.
Okay, and the gym closures, just the gym. The
Correct.
rest of the facility
Just the
will be
basketball
open,
court.
just the basketball court. That's what I thought, but I wanted to double check. Okay, any other questions? Okay, moving on. Receive PARD Department Project Update. Just gonna do that.
Mark and I will do this one.
Okay, thank you.
So our first project, we have Squire Park. We talked about that at last meeting. There hasn't been a recent update from what we talked about last time, but we are hoping to move forward in November with a design contract. Just to develop the design for the park as well, and then from there, move on to next steps.
Okay, so we'll expect something in November on the,
We receive another update, just depending on what transpires. during that time.
Let me give everybody aboard just a quick update as well. So next week at council, the council's gonna, with the new finance director, discuss, I think it got brought up the last couple of meetings, there was some funding left over in the last fiscal year budget. Some allocated funds, and they're still discussing how they want to utilize those funds. And two of the things that they're looking at are possibly putting some funds to Mercer and to Squire Park. So there's also some other items as well. And also the option of not doing any spending, keeping things as is. That's kind of always an option. So, so the new finance director, Jay Patel, we have a new finance director. He's been here 6 weeks, I think, couple months, 6 weeks. It'll be his first presentation, and he'll go over kind of next steps, because typically what they're gonna have to do is whatever they decide, they'll have to amend the current budget, because we're already in the new budget year. So basically, when we move to the new budget, the funds just stayed there. It's just in fund balance, and then, so now, I mean, we all know how much, and I think right now we're looking at 2.3 million, somewhere in there. So it's quite a bit of funds that they'll have to be, they'll be able to play with. And so probably, I know the agenda probably went out yesterday for council. So if you all want to, I haven't seen it, but I know they were working on it late yesterday, trying to get it put out. That's up. So,
I've heard discussion, but I'm using it for surface transportation too, so there's a mixture.
right. So yeah, check that packet out, and there'll be discussion. So the hope is, once we get that final, we're still coming back on the 4th with a design contract, unless we have something, if we get other funding, we should be okay still to stay on track. But if for some things change, it could get pushed out, but hopefully we get some, if we get more funding for those two projects, that'd be great. So we'll see what happens.
So is it 2.3 million for both of those parks?
It's, well, they haven't decided what they're gonna do with that funding yet. That's what they'll decide at the council meeting next week.
2.3 is the overall.
That's the total they have. They could allocate whatever they do. Yes, ma'am.
You said it was allocated funds from last year. So was it already pigeonholed?
No, they're basically,
It was
we
just.
got to the end of
in
the year,
budget.
it was the savings from the end of the year budget.
Gotcha.
And then, so that money just rolled over into the big fund balance, and so it's still sitting there. But because we're already in the new budget, I think the hope would have been a year into divvy it out, but it didn't happen, so now they still are considering it, and then once they do, they'll have to go back and amend them. So probably what'll happen is, once they decide next week, the next meeting, they'll have a formal budget amendment to just distribute the funds.
So Robert, thank you for that. So question, because the last meeting, you weren't at the last meeting, when we talked about the splash pad. I kind of got the consensus was that we don't really want to do a splash pad at this particular park. Is that pretty much off the table now?
Yeah, I think what we decided to do is just, I mean, we'll see, we'd like to go ahead and get into design and start being able to, if we get other funding, and that might actually even be discussed next week at the council meeting, it might come up as well. We really haven't been given direction on what we need to do. I think they're just trying to figure out the money issue at this point. Once that's done, and if we come back for the meeting on the 4th, we might have to have another discussion with council. Okay, how do you guys want to proceed? We have a design contract we can approve, so, we'll know more after next week, hopefully.
Yeah, and forgive me, I wasn't saying that we want a splash pad. I'm not saying.
No, they haven't just, yeah, it's on the table.
Okay.
Nothing's been finalized yet. And I think there was definitely lots of questions at the council meeting that Tara Mark attended. So, you know, but I don't know for sure if it's completely off the table, but I do know that's the general sense of a lot of council members, is that they would not like one.
Right.
So,
Okay. Good.
but with additional funds, you never know. See what happens.
Thank you.
So the next one that we have is Dutch Village Playground replacement. I don't know if any of you have heard by Old North, but they have delivered the playground. And so they're getting ready to install that, and they're excavating right now too as well. So you'll be seeing that going up piece by piece over the next couple of months, we'll say, about the end of.
Should be mid-November, the end of November, hopefully they'll totally be done.
With the playground equipment. So Mercer Park.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, can we go back to that? So the last meeting, we said we thought it'd be done around January 2026. Do we still think that's when we think it would be?
I would say that'd be probably closer to it, because once the playground people get done putting the playground in, our staff will be doing the sidewalk around the fall zone, and then they have to come in and do the pour in place in the, around the fall zone and in the fall zone for the swing set. We're able to find a little bit more to go ahead and replace the old swing, and that way everything's new in the park except for the basketball court.
Okay, thank you.
So next is Mercer Park. Right now, we got the contract, and they're moving through with surveying the property right now at this time. So like in a couple of months or so, we should get the results back in the information to go ahead and do finish out the design of the project.
And last month, we said we thought around spring 2026. Does that still sound?
That's
The
still
potential
sounds feasible
completion date, spring 2026 for Mercer?
for the design portion.
Oh,
Yes.
just for the design. So we have the design done by spring of 2026.
Yes.
So this one was the one that had 2 more phases left, was that right?
Yes.
So
it
if they
has-
did put money into Mercer, they could do it a little cheaper if they did it all together.
There's money there to do what we're calling phase 2, which would be the stuff outlined in red.
Mhm.
Phase 3 would be putting the playground and everything on the south side. We've already done all the grass, all the trees on the south side. Phase 3, and this could help with what as Rob was discussing, the money that they're talking about distributing in different areas. I don't believe we'll get the full amount, but we might have enough to do a little bit more also on the south side, is figuring out how the deeds work out with that.
Any other questions? All right, so Oak Brook median restoration is occurring right now. As of this week, they have installed concrete in the median up to the front, and I don't know if you all are able to see, but mostly in this portion right here, they have installed pavers. And so next step will be onto, working with Encore to add the street lights.
The side, the end closest to Wood Chapel. And then the other side that you
Yes,
said,
Garden Brook, and then right there at Lake Park.
the noses on each ends are gonna have paved stone.
Yes.
So they put the concrete base or in the process of, and then they'll finish the paved stone.
We've had a little bit of a delay with Encore getting some things signed and taken over, but that should have been finished up. Well, actually, they get finished up this week. So starting next week, we'll be kind of pushing them a little bit further.
Any questions regarding Oak Brook?
So after Encore, then what is next?
Well, the far east side, we can go ahead and start doing some of that work. Based on, they poured concrete this week. It's setting up. We should start have a contractor out there doing the paved stone work, and then our staff is supposed to start doing irrigation. We can start on that east side and start doing the landscape. The area to the west, the 3 to the west, we can do the side work. But as far as getting in the middle and doing everything we need to do, we can't do anything till Encore gets in, gets out. Then we can run our main lines and go back and forth from median to median doing our bores.
Okay. What's the projected timeline on that?
I wish it was tomorrow, but, I'm gonna say most of my staff will be busy next week working on Halloween in the park, several of them. That's kind of my crew that's supposed to be out there working. I'm gonna say with the timeline and everything and the delay with Encore, it's probably gonna be more to December, and I hate to put a timeline on, but because I'm waiting on another vendor to.
Well, so my question is, how long does your portion take? Not, I get,
Feasibly, if we could get in and not have to worry about anybody else, it would be about a month, month and a half. With being with someone else, it's feasibly, it's turning into a lot longer project. We had planned on November, end of October, 1st of November. There's been, like I said, delays with Uncle.
yeah, well, I'm not worried about that. I was just curious. Once you get the go ahead, you're saying a month and a half, so.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that concludes, all the updates for now.
Okay, any other questions before we move on? Okay, C4, receive an update from board members on parks, programs, events. What's anybody attended and what are we noticing? Any feedback from residents? What all do we have?
I went by and saw the historic park and it's beautiful. And the parking that was put in, they did a nice job. You hardly even noticed. So I have to say, they did a great job.
It's a parking. That's good.
I have a question for you on the, Dodson Parkway and the hedging that got torn out.
William Dodson Parkway?
Yes.
Yeah,
You've torn out the hedges.
yes,
Are they going to be replaced?
no. We're looking at doing some different options that are there and moving forward with new landscaping.
Any indication on what that is?
We're still working on that, design aspect of it, kind of getting that. We're really getting kind of an eye on what people are thinking of it at the moment. Everybody seems to have an opinion and, that's what
I
we're,
think we're looking at more just ground cover in and around the trees. We were having trouble with the shrubs over the years, with all the winters, it's hammered them quite a few.
along with the birds.
Along with the egrets wasn't good either, so, and trying to reestablish a lot of that would have been, and to be honest, I think it looks, I mean, it looks the best it's looked in a while. Yeah. And so, but I think, so what we'll do things is probably along the trees, we're looking at possibly some low ground cover. Nothing vertical, probably with the same hedgerow. And then we'd like to also address the median as well. We're having, the Andinas just aren't doing as well as they should. We had that one in where the sign was with the grass, with the turf we put back, and it looks awesome right there. So, we might just go back with just a simple turf, just to have it a more clean look as we go into. But we'll see how that looks, but we're moving into winter and all these winter projects, and that's kind of what that's the first step. And plus we were waiting on the egrets to kind of go, yeah. There's still plenty of tree space for the egrets to come back. So, I mean, I'm sure they will be back.
I mean, somehow, there was a neighborhood in Carrollton that had the egret infestation, and they legally got rid of those birds. There are people, you cannot walk in front of City Hall. You have a lot of people who use that for exercise and walk through there. And it is a health hazard.
Well, the First Baptist Church took 4 trees out,
Yes.
4 trees, 2 in front of the sanctuary, because basically they were getting pelted going in the front door of the church. So,
No.
and I think it got better. They still had quite a few issues over this past season we had. but-
What I am saying is there are legal ways to rid us of these birds,
Yeah.
and we should pursue those as aggressively as we can. It is a
Yeah.
health hazard. It is a
Maintenance.
hazard. It looks awful. The birds, you know, in a storm or whatever, the baby birds are in the street and get nailed.
Right.
It's just
For-
not a good entrance to our major municipal building.
For the last 2 years, we've been doing some heavy trimming in the trees, which is legally what we can do. We have tried to put up the cat eye balloons. We have put lasers in the tree. We reached out to a company that can't give you 100% if they can get them out or not, but they sure want to take an awful lot of your money. And we chose not to do that. We chose to buy our own lasers, which were just off Amazon, and it helped at first, but once they come in, it's not getting them out. They're there. Once they drop one egg nest, you cannot touch it. You cannot do anything with it. We try to do things starting around February, January, in that month there to try to trim the trees. We've paid quite a bit of money to a forestry company come in and climb the trees to do it the proper way. And have removed, it was 15%, 20%.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
Of as much as that we are comfortable with and that you should do. And that's quite a bit for 2 years in a row. We're gonna try it again this year. It's gonna be 3 years in a row, but it is just not being successful as what we would hope.
People in Carrollton who somehow did it.
You know what neighborhood that was?
I can do some research and find it.
I think a lot of them are using someone out there with blanks.
Jordan Whittington that goes out there with a foghorn.
Yeah, that's one of the things you could do, and you could put horns. That was one of the vendors that we had that came out. But that would just be too disruptive to the neighborhood.
With the apartments that are close by there, having the loud noises.
Yes.
Is interesting, but the first year, like I said, we used the big balloons that are shiny, got the cat eyes on them and all that. And while our guys were putting them in the tree, the birds were flying in nesting. So, I mean, it's one of these deals we've been trying to take care of. It's a nightmare.
So is that what the down by the hospital, they have those mirror looking things up in the trees? Is that?
It could be. And
And they're still there. The birds are not there, but they still have to.
one of the major concerns is we don't want to push them away from our property into the neighborhood. And that's what we're trying to keep from doing So that's,
I do believe this past season, it was, I think it was less than we've had in a long time because of some of the things we've been
I
doing.
think it was.
I do feel like some of the birds, I noticed more birds on the back of the city hall and the trees there, which that'd be okay. I wouldn't mind them using that. So, but yeah, that's the hard part. If we do the aggressiveness with the horns and stuff like that, are we gonna then push them to the other neighborhoods? And then that's a whole nother issue. And so at this point, we have discussed this with management and they're like, you know, we just gotta keep, you know, doing what we can. And if we, yeah, because that's just, like I said, it's hard to want to do anything too aggressive because then you're gonna shake that boat and then it's, you know, and you're disturbing someone else's.
And we have your side, then we also have the other side. So we're teetering.
It's the other side.
Don't want any, that's,
Environmentalists.
thank you.
I think you can be environmentally sensitive, and I think I am, but still understand the health hazard
Yeah,
to
right.
people and children and infants. You are right next to a playground that purports to be inclusive. And getting into and out of that playground, you're going through bird feces. I think there's a balance that can be maintained there.
We can check on that.
All right, back to the agenda item. Several of us just went to Haunts and Houses in the historical park.
Yes.
I think we had,
Well attended.
I think we had a great attendance. Everybody was happy. A lot of people commented that, why in the world have we never been here before? Couldn't give them an answer, so hopefully they'll come back.
Yes. And they were giving out information about Halloween and the other events that are coming up, so I think it was a good thing.
I was on Rawhide and the solar lights on the section that I already went through. It looks awesome. It was really nice to walk the dog at 6 a.m. this morning and be able to see. I have 3 questions. Of course I do. Was that from the grant funds? Cause I heard that money is from grant funding, right?
Some of it was grant money, some of it wasn't grant money.
Okay.
It's trail money stuff that they had set aside and that they've added, then it's.
So are we gonna be able
I
to carry
think
it
it
all the
was-
way through the second
Yes,
question?
so you had phase 1, which was last year, you had phase 2 this year, and I believe next year they're planning on doing all 3 panels going all the way down along with lights up from, on Goffin Green side, going from Tom Field all the way to Webb Chapel.
Okay, yeah, cause they offset the lights, I guess. I guess maybe to make sure the pavement settled into everything before they put the first phase's lights in.
I'm sorry?
The first phase of the lights.
No, the first phase, they didn't have the money to put the lights in.
Okay,
So this time when they went to bid it out, they bid out the one panel that they did, and then they bid it with lights to do all the other 2 panels.
oh, it's awesome.
So they could do all 3 at once. So then, like I said, next year, they'll do all 3 on that other side with lights as well.
That's great. There's a water fountain at Rawhide and Longmead. Did y'all turn that off for that work? Cause it's off right now.
Water fountain at Rawhide,
And Longmead.
I will find out.
Okay. It's been out for about a week, maybe a week and a couple days.
It's either it's been shut off because it was leaking,
Okay.
or the button on the inside, the spring is broke on the actuator part, and we'll have to,
Cool. Okay.
whatever it is.
So I just wanted to note it for you.
But thank you.
Subcommittee is my other thing. First one thing I want to say is December 4th. I cannot go. Does anyone want to go on my place? The event subcommittee, December 4th. Because we can only have 2 people. Does anyone want to go?
And if no one's available, we can bring in the report.
I know, but there were several people that had been interested, so I just wanted to bring it up that I can't go, and they're gonna be talking about, Gateway to the Blue. So,
What time is the meeting?
that's 6, it's from 6 to 7. I think they're talking about moving it over here too, because it's gonna have more people, because Gateway to the Blue is gonna be talked about.
My wife's singing down here at Bocelli concert, so no, I can't go, sorry.
No, that's fine, Steven's still gonna be there,
Yeah.
so I just wanted to check, because we're only allowed to have 2. Okay, so what we talked about this month, the after budget, the adult pop-up events that the group had suggested did not make the budget because council really wanted a flat budget, so that got removed. We discussed the Christmas carnival, features are being carried over from last year because of the rain out. So there's some cost savings that's happening, which is nice. And I think we gave a few ideas to help build on last year, but it sounds like we'll probably use that because nobody saw that layout. So it seems like that's the way that it's proceeding with a few extra touches from the suggestions. Did I understand that right?
Yes.
So that's how you're gonna get it, right? Okay. And then Gateway to the Globe, we lightly touched on, but really we're gonna start in November because that's when we invited everybody back who was on that committee.
Do
So
we have a date on Gateway to the Globe?
I don't think so, 'cause I think
I
that's
don't
what the
remember that.
committee,
yeah,
the
Oh, okay.
committee will run.
I've got March written down here.
It'll be in March, but yeah, I'm not sure.
do you have anything else from that one? That's what I had written down.
While we're talking about dates, the Christmas Carnival is December 6th.
Yeah,
And, hopefully we'll have plenty of volunteers to do our Santa Claus in the
Yeah.
gazebo.
Is that what we're assigned to do? Yeah. Okay. So will you send out a, well,
We signed up,
sign up or?
we signed up at the last one, staff, board members signed up at the last one, and then, couple emailed me. And then we have the Santa gazebo, and then we also have the marketing tent that we are inviting all of the Parks and Recreation boards to, if they wanted to volunteer at. But we were giving Parks and Rec board, kind of first priority on what they wanted to do and to also be able to do the Santa. No other boards will be doing the Santa gazebo.
So I'll need to let you know on, since I was gone last month.
Yes.
And then, the other thing I went to is the District Two Town Hall meeting, because I live in District Two, although there are a lot of people there who weren't from District Two, so that was interesting for me. Still learning city politics. So I just, the note was, one of the citizens brought up maintenance needs at J.C. Park and Veterans Park, and I thought Robert did a good job, fielding that and telling him you go walk it with him, so
And we walked it yesterday.
there you go.
There you go.
I have a question. Does Park and Recreation, do they participate in the National Night Out?
Oh, yeah. We were about 19. There's about 19 of us
I forgot about National Night Out.
that, we load up in our big Sprinter, 15 passenger, 15 with the driver, and then our SUV, and we went
Some
to
people
5.
don't include us in the big passenger van. We get shunned in the little bid car.
We, we caravan together and we went to 5 different parties. Mhm.
We heard that the announcement went out that said the event was an hour later than it was, because that's why we didn't get a whole bunch of people at our party that showed up. We had maybe 3 groups that showed up at the one on Amber.
We'll make sure to go to that one next year.
We know.
And when people put in for that, they can request.
Yeah,
Certain groups.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's most time they request fire or police so the kids can play on the fire truck or
And we
whatever.
try to go to the ones that request.
They can request
Parks.
Parks Department to come by and we will come by.
And I do think overall there was fewer participants this year for some reason. I don't know how many less, but I don't think they had as many groups sign up to register for a party.
Okay, I didn't see any of it. Somebody from the events lives in our neighborhood, and so she was passing out stuff. I wore my park shirt, so they knew parks, and then Ben and his, cohort, they came.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do this next year is, and we had 2 vehicles, we're gonna divide and conquer a little bit, better this upcoming year. There was just so many of us and when we would go, we were literally crashing the parties. There's so many. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide it into 3 groups. We've got enough people that actually want to participate in it. And we'll divide it into 3 groups and we'll go to like different, so we'll be able to hit between 12 to 15
Yeah.
different neighborhood parties. And so the way I did it with 2 vehicles is I asked 2 people from each of the divisions, and then I put one on one vehicle and the other on the other, so that way we could represent the senior center, the rec center, the events, parks, everyone, facilities, but everyone else. So we'll probably just do the same thing, ask for 3, get 3 different vehicles, give everyone a map, We feed them dinner so they don't eat everyone's food when we show up to the parties and we're there
Trying to get people
to
eat up.
socialize with our neighbors.
They were like, please eat. They were like, one thing per party, that's all they wanted.
We passed out booth passes, for Halloween in the park and talked about our upcoming programs and events in the craft fair. And so, we only had one request, from all of the block parties, and that was for our wonderful Branch Connection staff. And so we did attend. That was our first party that we went to on the west side. And then other than that, we just kind of just randomly made sure we hit all the districts. Yeah. Thank you for the feedback.
I'll get with y'all then for next year, because
Yep.
because of the medians, we had a lot of homeowners asking,
Okay.
you know, is Parks and Rec's gonna be here? And I go, sure, I mean, you know, the police chief's here, the fire chief's here.
We'll divide and conquer next year.
Yeah.
But it'll all be done so they won't have any questions.
Well, they didn't want to thank y'all. You come and tell them. And they'll be great, yeah.
Yeah, we'll send Bart.
Awesome.
Now, if it's still under construction next year,
Yeah.
I'm for sure,
We won't
we'll
talk
see,
about
we'll
that.
see what happens then.
Okay, any other updates or?
I just have a question. At the dog park, is that ever, sprayed with chemicals for, fleas? I'm just curious.
Is it ever sprayed with fleas?
Is that
Periodic.
sprayed with?
I mean, took care of fleas, actually, we bring them in. No, we normally periodically do spray for fleas out there. Normally it's on the day that we have park service when it's closed on Mondays.
Yeah, because, there's nothing you can really do about it, because people bring their dogs in with the fleas.
There truly isn't. Some people take care of theirs or believe in treating their dogs and some don't, and we can only try to prevent.
Oh, I know. Okay, that's my only question.
And you know, when we put down fertilizer and things like that, that also helps. So it's just,
What people do.
yes, ma'am.
Oh, I forgot about the other one. I went to Spooky Hooch. It was well attended. It looked like a lot of people were having fun. They all liked the photo. I think that was the star of the show. There weren't any treat vendors. I thought that was odd. Because the last dog event I went to, there were lots of, I was gonna go spend some money on treats and there weren't any. So
Why not?
I'll find out.
They don't make it out of money.
there were, like, it was the costuming people were there, but
Yeah.
the ones who were, because it's Halloween, I get that, but Halloween's also got treats, so I was just curious. And no one was in line for the vendors that, at least while I was there, that were selling the clothes, the star bandanas.
And I think for Spooky Pooch, we're also going to, all of our dog park events is, kind of move it a little bit closer into the park and out of the parking lot area to allow the guests to be able to park along the Bark Park, in front of the Bark Park and the skate park area, and move the vendors actually in between like the fencing and the concession
Oh,
stand.
that could be nice, because that's where everyone was for the photo.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
would give them more foot traction.
I brought my little, fur siblings.
The other
And
one really
I saw-
packed was because they brought all the promo items, was the vet.
Yes, so
So everyone
they,
was getting
they
free
even
stuff from them,
made,
and they were packed.
yeah, they even made like t-shirts for this event. It was like so cute.
At first I thought it was y'all, and I was like, oh, no, that's the vet.
Yeah,
They showed up in
the
force.
farmer's branch,
The farmer's
vet.
branch veterinary clinic.
Yeah,
They showed up in force at Spooky Pooch.
yeah, they come to all of our things and they are fantastic. They theme it to whatever our theme is. They theme their whole setup, and so.
That's why I thought they were y'all.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
So
Yes.
when is the next dog park?
It should be, after Daddy Daughter Dance, so we'll do like a winterish one in like February. And then we'll do one right before summer camp starts, we'll do one like Cinco de Dago. And then, the February.
It's in-
Oh, yeah, sorry, the next one is actually in December, so Feliz Navi Dog will be in December.
Okay.
And then a February one, and then Cinco de Dago.
But people
Okay.
were having a great time. They were all on the pathway because they were all in line for the photos.
Yes, so that's where I think we'll move. And then in between the skate park and the dog park, there's some grassy area. It's kind of inclined a little bit, so we'll get with Parks to see if they can level that out for us in between all the other projects. And,
Yeah.
we'll just have a grand time. A time will be had.
Thank you, got the
Mark.
stank out of there.
No, the answer's no.
It's job security, that's what I.
One day we'll finish.
Okay,
And then you start all over again.
it's like laundry, it just never stops.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got C5. What do we need to, anything else we need to add to the agenda for next month?
So I've got a suggestion. So Barbara, are you still giving your presentation to the church on October 26th?
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately, I can't make it on the 26th because I have something going on in my church that day, but would it be possible for you to take your presentation you're going to give to the church to give to the board? Because I'd love to hear whatever it is you're going to present. I'd love to learn about whatever
I
you
can
present.
try. I can't guarantee it'll be the same thing, but I can.
No, I'm not asking for a guarantee, but I mean, just.
I mean, I'm not doing a slideshow. I'm not, it's just.
It doesn't have to be a slideshow.
Okay.
Whatever, I just think, we would benefit from you, whatever you're gonna present to the church. I can't make it, maybe everybody else can, but Margaret, invite everybody. That was very kind of you, Margaret. But I'd love to hear it, but I can't make it on 26th, so I think the board would benefit from hearing what you have to say.
Kind of off topic. Jennifer had mentioned if we all go, if however many people go to this church thing, you have to announce a potential quorum.
It's already posted.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Jennifer, was-
After I told you I talked to her and I emailed her.
and within hours after Jennifer reached out, it was posted. Yeah.
So we're covered. Whoever wants to go can go, no
Good,
permission.
good, good.
Yeah, I have something that kind of broke my heart. There was a posting on Facebook, the other day by Pam Smith. She posted a beautiful picture of the rose garden and what we used to have, the celebration of roses. Yeah. And she posted that, but then she posted post-retirement. Unfortunately, the city of Farmers Branch is maintaining a garden of roses infected with rose rosette and only planting drift and knockouts, which are infected or on the verge. I never thought I would say this, but I wish they would remove all the roses so their continued presence won't infect the Farmers Branch residents' roses or the visitor. Sorry, this really upsets me.
She's a bitter employee.
I'm sorry,
She's a bitter former employee, just FYI.
but she also does know her roses, and if the rose
And
garden
that-
is infected and I walk through it, it is not
And that was under her watch that came up.
good. So she thinks that, anyone walking through the garden can carry mites on their clothing and would infect their roses at home. She won't visit the garden until the issue is addressed. And that means we need to remove all the roses. So I think at some point we need to discuss the rose garden.
Okay,
We can bring a rose garden update the next one. That's fine.
And it's just sad because I walk through there at least twice a week and it is full of disease and full of,
Well, Mark and I just went out to the west side today and saw almost all the bushes we saw had rosette. So, so we definitely, have some challenges at the rose garden, but we can get the board updated on kind of the steps going forward at the next meeting. And
and I'm also told Pam has offered to volunteer up there and bring volunteers in and has been denied. So they would help with it. They could and would help with tearing them out and prepping everything and giving some guidance as to what should go in there.
Okay. Well, we'll check on that.
Thank you.
And as a resident who had many, many rose bushes a number of years ago that had to go away because of rose rosette, I really would like to see us figure out what we can do so it doesn't spread.
Right.
I second that.
Well, those are things we can bring up at the next one, so we can kind of get everyone updated.
okay, and, I don't know if I've brought up something, about the, Bird City, not, has nothing to do with the egrets. So the Texas Audubon, you can put in to become, and I don't know anything about the designation. I just heard it on the, Texas Parks and Wildlife Show. I record that and watch that, every week. And they brought that up. There's not very many cities that have that designation. Dallas does, but there's really not that many around here. So I don't know if that puts a star in our cap or or what, but I'd like to see us at least research what, yes, sir.
Aren't y'all just complaining about migratory birds? That is a joke.
She also made that joke right before she said it.
Yes.
We will check on that.
Okay,
Yep.
that may be something we don't want to even.
We're gonna put in the big lights that turn around in the sky.
Got some crows living in my trees in the backyard. So they've been hanging out a lot. No, they're interesting. They've been interesting to watch.
Okay, any other big things that need to be added? Okay. So anybody interested in adjournment?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed that wants to hang in?
Is more than welcome to say it.